5 tips for getting her to text you back. Have you been waiting for hours just to hear back from the woman you've been messaging? Before you screw up your chances with your crush, allow me to give you some tips to get her texting you back. Most of the time, when a woman doesn't text or message you back, it's because she's not interested in you or the conversation is probably getting boring. There's a small chance she is just busy, but if she's really interested, she would make time for you. If she doesn't reply or return your message within a day or two, most likely she doesn't see you that way or just playing games to keep you around whenever she needs you. Here are some of my tips. Tip number 1, if she left you on read or doesn't reply within a couple of hours or even days, do not text her back right away. Wait for at least a day or two to give her a second text unless she ends up texting you back before that time frame. But you can't just send her a normal boring, "Oh hi, how have you been? I didn't hear back from you. Is everything okay?" That comes off needy and desperate. Instead, talk a little shit. Text her something like, "Hey, did your phone get turned off because you didn't pay your phone bill?" Or, "Hey, I haven't heard back from her name. If you are her kidnapper, I can give you $15 for her safe return. That's all I'm willing to offer." She will reply if she has a good sense of humor. The idea is to bust her balls while trying to be funny. It will show her the conversation can be playful and fun. A higher chance of her returning your text if she thought you were boring before. Tip number 2, don't text or message her back right away after every text she sends. Wait a couple minutes to text back. It's better to go do something you enjoy and just text back when you get a chance. You don't want to communicate back to her, you don't have anything better to do. When you do something enjoyable and reply when you can, it comes off more attractive and shows you have a life. Tip number 3, when you text, make it interesting. Don't talk about normal, boring, everyday things. Try to go a little bit into the fantasy world. Come up with interesting stories where you and she can go to with a taste of fantasy and reality in the mix. Life sometimes can be quite boring. You want your conversation to be the escape she's waiting for to run away from the dull everyday life. Same reason we read books or watch movies to escape reality just for a few minutes or hours. Be deliberate about what you send to her. Don't just send something random without much thought. You want to trigger an emotion with each text, whether that's happy or sad feelings. Tip number 4, when you ask her questions, make it open-loop questions. Questions where the answers can't be a simple yes or no, or a single word response. Those questions usually starts with how, why, or what. When you ask open-ended questions, you'll be able to branch off and jump around different topics or subjects easier. Making sure the conversation doesn't get dry up, but at the same time, keeping the conversation fresh and interesting. Someone who finds interest in you will make the effort to help carry the conversation. Tip number 5, when you're able to sense that she's starting to have more interest in you, that's when you set up a date to meet in person. When you make a good impression early on, you want to strike while the iron is hot before she gets bored. If you drag out the texting process too long, you risk getting friend-zoned. Just like a movie trailer, the trailer itself determines whether you go out to see the movie or not. You must make the text conversation so interesting, she would want to meet up in person to continue the interaction with you. When you catch her full attention, you end the conversation early and tell her, "Hey, I have to go do so-and-so, but I would love to continue this conversation. You may come join me for a coffee this Saturday if you want." Be chill about it, and don't lose your cool if she doesn't agree to meet up. It just means you haven't triggered enough emotion in her to find you attractive. Those are my 5 tips. Just know you gotta be different and intriguing enough to get her attention. Don't come off needy or desperate. Continue to improve yourself, and you will come off more desirable. Give it a try, and let me know if it helps you in getting her to message you back, whether that is through phone text, apps, or social media. If you got value out of this video, like and subscribe if you haven't already. Comment any other questions or tips you guys might have to get her to text you back. See you guys in the next one.